Hey, what's up, guys? This is DaRel and Neil here with iNerd. Checking in Comic-Con weekend, looking at new trailers. Gonna do a first watch of the Shazam trailer and see what we think here.
Pretty excited about this. Been rumored for quite a while that they were gonna do this.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Cool.
You've run from foster homes in 6 counties. I can take care of myself. When you're 18, give these people a chance. Because that's what they're giving you.
This is Billy Batson. Make sure you make him feel at home.
It's too nice, but don't buy it. Kids who don't get no friends around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all. If you could have one superpower, what would you pick? Everybody uses flight. You know why?
Batman and Superman nods.
In this conversation.
No, it's heroes who fly.
Hello?
Say my name so my powers may flow through you.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Are you sure you don't?
Say it.
Shazam?
It's me, it's Billy. What is happening?
You're the only person I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
Can I?
What's it?
That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM.
You have super strength.
Just
Can you fly?
if I quit your PM, I still might was sick. If I quit this season, I still be
You okay? Why are you talking?
PM. Sit down.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna buff out.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged. What the hell?
You're like a bad guy, right?
You have bullet immunity.
I won't for Your daddy. Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, stop, I'm a superhero.
Oh, you motherfuckers! Oh, okay. Shazam. Oh, I don't like that sound, dude. That honestly, that looks like what I need Shazam to be. That looks like everything that I need Shazam to be. I don't trust DC right now.
No, I don't. I don't either. And
I like Chuck, man. I like Chuck.
I do too. I was a little bummed to see Billy was a little older.
Yeah.
Knock about 6 years off. 5 years. About 5 years.
I don't know, how does that kid look to you?
That kid's like 17.
Nah, man, that kid's like 14.
No way.
Yeah, that kid's like 14. Gotta be.
Okay,
We could probably look up the actor.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna let you take over the reins on that one, so I'm not leaning across.
Gonna take me a moment.
There you go.
But I thought
So it looks like Freddy, Billy Batson's best friend, Grazer plays him. He joins Zachary Levi, who plays the titular Shazam superhero. Asher Angel plays young Billy. That is a name I am unfamiliar with. But let's take a look and see. 15.
so. Okay,
Split the difference.
we got not 7 off at least. Billy's a kid, not a teenager.
I'd say in there he's probably going to be playing every bit of a 13, 14-year-old. That gives it room though for the other siblings to be somewhat up under Billy, subordinate to him, at least on an age elderly type level. Billy's kind of like the new foster kid, a little older than everybody, and apparently more troubled. It's like Billy's somewhat of a badass, apparently, like, you know, street kid.
Right, and I remember Billy being more meek. I don't remember him being.
No, let me ask you this: did you see the latest animation featuring Shazam? It was Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam in some capacity.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, Billy was a wild kid. Man. Not wild. Billy was a good kid always, but Billy gets into stuff. Billy doesn't back down from bullies. Billy might get his ass kicked too by those bullies, but you know Billy wouldn't back down from the bullies.
I thought the suit was very like cheesy looking.
My understanding with that, and what I initially knew, it's supposed to be. That is a child's imagining of what a superhero looks like.
It reminded me of, like, to the extent of Batman and Robin.
It's
like,
it's cheese. It's got some cheese on it. I'll say it's definitely got some cheese on it. That being surrounded by a production that was garbage and written terribly, I think was.
Yeah, I'm sure they threw no money at this.
This movie?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is being directed by the Annabelle director. Okay, are you not familiar with what's been happening over at DC with Walter Hamada?
I'm having trouble these days with them.
I've got to check my own article on this for exact details. But Walter Hamada, the head of Warner Brothers, has stepped in doing
just recently.
Well, man, nah.
John stepped down.
If you put the pieces together, think about it. They got rid of Snyder a long time ago.
Oh, geez, yes.
And Jeff Johns is no fight. And they wanted him to be that, and thought probably that he had more street cred as a writer, comic writer and whatnot. But off the top of my head, I can't tell you a great Jeff Johns run of anything.
No.
But Jeff Johns, he's been out for a while too. I think I don't think he ever was really there power wise. That's why he was never going to rein in Snyder. He was never going to rein in.
No, I think that's been all Warner Brothers this whole time.
Now, I think to her credit, Patty Jenkins, strong enough director, and with early enough problems from the Snyder direction of things, Patty Jenkins was able to take the reins of her own chariot and just like, hey, this is what we're doing. It works, guys. There's no need for you to complain. And if you just let me do this, I guarantee you it's gonna work. And it did. So like she's got her own thing going on. But for instance, one of the shakeups is that Walter Hamada, who I believe found the crews, the guys, James Wan, I can't think of the Annabelle and the Nun guys' names right now. I'm gonna look it up in just a second here. But Walter Hamada brought those guys in that are making all those successful horror movies for Warner Brothers. And for a while now, including Shazam and Aquaman, which have been on the slate for a while, and he already had set his guys in place to direct those movies. Like I said, the Annabelle creator and the Conjuring creator, respectively, which that's what James Wan is. Yeah. So that's who made Shazam and Aquaman. So you got Patty Jenkins making Wonder Woman, James Wan making Aquaman, and the other horror movie guy from Annabelle making the Shazam movie. That
doesn't give me any confidence.
Well,
because of the two, for me,
yeah,
those are two mediocre horror movies.
Well, see, I'm not a huge horror fan, so I've never actually seen any entirety of those movies. I've seen pieces of them while other people are watching them, and I'm like, come on, let's go. But I will say they're successful movies.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that will translate into a quality comic book movie. And DC is needing that really bad.
Do realize part of their success is based up on the quality of those movies cinematically.
Agreed.
So those movies, and I can't say this for all horror movies or nothing, but I mean like the Annabelle and Conjuring and Nun movies, possibly Nun movies, depending on how well this does. But the Annabelle and Conjuring movies, you got to check out the site, man, iNerdForYou.com. I just wrote an article about the Nun and what information is going on with it for Comic-Con. But they those guys are making good-looking movies that people are enjoying. So to me, that says a lot, because that's what Marvel has done, is picked up directors with talent that are making good-looking and enjoyable movies that people are enjoying. Whereas like Taika Waititi, that's a small niche market. I love What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's the documentary, mockumentary about the vampires living in New Zealand or something. Yeah,
I totally need to see that.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm already into it.
Yeah. So, but that was early Taika Waititi movie, and his things are all subtle. And like to me, like I don't know what superhero movie would work best, but the guy that does all the Best in Show movies and like there's probably a genre in some movie that like when you think about it, that guy working in that particular movie and its franchise probably would be a boost to that thing. It would be like something like, I'm trying to think of who would be a great superhero to have damn near documentary type movie made of. But like I said, Taika Waititi was making mockumentary type movies and things. Oh, Wilder People, that was the other one. Hunt for the Wilder People. But they, making stuff like that. You would think that like, man, that's niche movies for hipster nerd guys that are into dry humor.
Of course.
You would never think, somebody would have never saw Thor Ragnarok coming out of it. I did. I knew what that guy was going to do. I didn't know they'd let him do that much, but I knew what that guy was going to do.
I was really surprised with what he was able to, like what he did with that.
Yeah.
If I loved everything about Ragnarok.
I have to block this out as this product placement. I don't know. But
Maybe we can get some.
The funny thing is that I have hope for that. Like I said, I've never watched Annabelle's or Conjurings or anything like that, other than catching blips and blurps. And me, man, I read the Wikipedias, I go read up on them. So I know the storyline of all the movies. I know how they tie in together. I know their universe. But and it's an interesting universe. It is a very interesting universe. It's basically what I imagine it as is like, I compare things to old movies. Imagine if somebody did like The Exorcist, but just right. It's this whole universe of things happening around these possessions and particular demon or monster named Valak or whatever. Like which I can't remember the name in The Exorcist, but it was something close to that actually.
Mm-hmm. It was. I don't know. One of the things that Marvel has done right, where DC, the directors they pick, even with, they're either super familiar with the characters already, like the Russos.
Yeah.
Good example. Where they're able to tell the story and do it right. DC, it seems to be picking directors that don't have much of a idea of the characters. And that's where the problem is, because they have no direct connection to there's no love for the characters.
Well, see, I don't think DC knows what love for the characters is. They thought Zack Snyder had love for the character, but if you read every comment of his and actually understand what he is saying, he had no love for Superman.
No.
He was one of those guys, like a friend of mine, that swears that like Superman's terrible. He should just be barreling through everybody. He should just be burning, burning bad guys, slice people in half. Batman can never And it's like you missing a whole part of the character of Superman in saying that. Is that he's a guy holding back who understands that like, I'm powerful. Sure, I could be doing all that, but I know better. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of it. And then when he does go outside of that with it in mainstream continuity, it makes it even more powerful. They're like, oh shit, he's snapping. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? If Superman just ran around doing that, he could have took over the world, soon into adulthood. That's not,
right.
Not really a thing. So anyway, I looked up the director here, David F. Sandberg. Lights Out was his directorial debut, which is some, I don't want to say popular movie that was like a, what do they call it when a movie comes out of nowhere? Sleeper hit type thing. Based on 2013 acclaimed horror short of the same name. He also directed the Conjuring franchise spinoff, Annabelle. So they put faith in him. He's like, I don't know, he does not have much of a filmography at all.
Yeah.
Major filmography, none to boot. Lights Out, Annabelle Creation, and now Shazam. That's all this guy has going for him. Apparently began with animation and documentaries though. Independent market, Swedish channels and whatnot. David F. Sandberg is Swedish. Alright, so yeah, quick thing we had discussed there was Shazam. It's been touted by Chuck and the kid from Stranger Things, or whatever that kid's from. Both, yeah. Is it that kid?
I think
whatever his name.
I think it's both.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know there was a bunch of like crossovers between those.
Yeah, in a Twitter feed from them, I believe it was, they said that, they were kind of giving some information on it, just rattling off, and it was cool. They were talking and riffing and having fun, and basically said that it's Big meets Superman. And my thoughts on that is that, duh, because that's Shazam's fucking story.
Yeah.
But that can be executed goofy as hell, or it can be executed in a way to which the adult fans of Big are going to watch that and enjoy the hell out of it. And that's what I saw there.
I did not consider that.
Is that
as a kid, as a person that enjoyed Big a lot?
Yeah. This is going to be Big Replay, man. This is going to be Big Replay, except he grew up to be a guy with superpowers instead of just a regular schmo. Because, that's why I got such a kick out of him walking past the girls there after, we just busted up some shit, but I got superpowers. Talking about, hey, I'm a superhero. Like, do you see?
I love that. And I think you're right on exactly what
in my
direction
childish get up that I think superheroes look like. Yeah.
I think that's the direction they were totally going for.
Yeah.
I did not even consider that.
Yeah, that's...
Now I'm actually excited about this movie. Because of that direction. Because of loving Big. As a kid, I consumed that movie because it was just such a fun movie, and at the time I couldn't wait to be an adult.
Man,
I would give anything to go backwards now.
Yeah, but that's a prime example. I was telling you about Major League being on repeat as a kid. Big was one of those movies that could be on repeat in my room in my VCR. Yeah. And my mom would be like, "You still watching that? It's been on for 3 days in your room. You just leave, you go to school."
It's a hilarious movie.
Hilarious movie, and it was a kid that wanted to be an adult. It was always very adult-like, so it was very cool. That's the teaser trailer there. But so basically though, man, that was my take on it and what I kind of got from it. So in watching that trailer there, it just really, for me, hit all the right notes. I heard no goofy ass one-liners that sounded really cheesy, like a 90s Schwarzenegger movie or nothing. I never heard any goofball. The goofball seemed natural.
You run from foster homes in 6 counties.
They paint Billy dramatic. He's stealing cars.
Give these people a chance, because that's what they're giving you.
Finds a foster home. This is where he meets the rest of the later
Batson.
Marvel family.
Make sure you make him feel at home.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like,
it's Captain Marvel.
Foster kid, you've got it all.
They've changed the name legally to Shazam, but for all the hardcore guys, that'll always be fucking Captain Marvel. Shazam's the wizard.
Right.
Yeah. And the thing is, how are they going to name everybody else? Because they are the Marvel family, so now they're going to be the Shazam family.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I was just...
Billy Batson. That's Jake. Say my name so my powers may flow through you.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Even the goofiness of the name Shazam. I also like that it's an instant thing.
Yeah.
No slow lightning. The lightning effects look awesome.
Please, Billy. What is happening?
You're the only person I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
Can I push it?
The lightning looks.
It's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers? Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
Super strength.
And like even his face as he knocks that wall out, that looks real childish. He looks very like.
And that's obviously what you're wanting.
Why are you talking?
But I mean real wonder. And that's what you kind of when a movie like Big, Tom Hanks is believable. Chuck's believable. Zachary Levi, I keep calling him.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody's watching Chuck. That show is
I don't think
amazing.
anybody watched Chuck except us.
I think you might be right. I rewatched that.
Even the finding out your bulletproof moment's awesome.
Alright.
Now, like I said, they only gave us a quick glimpse of the Mark Strong and whoever the villain is, and that's good. Because you don't want to see all of that played out. But the thing is, maybe that also could be a sign of pretty much standard weak comic book villain. The thing everybody tries to act like Marvel is so guilty of just, the standard, honestly, villain of almost any story that's not Shakespearean. He comes in, he's an antagonist, he causes a problem and possible moral conundrum for the hero, and then is defeated, and that's how stories go, most times, unless you're Thanos. So, I don't know, I think they might have a flimsy bad guy. Mark Strong looks stupid with that scar and everything. That looks too comic booky. And your villain, the way they should have offset that with the DC universe they've created, Shazam's villain needs to be a serious problem. Like Black Adam would have been too serious of a problem for Shazam's first movie.
But we will see I would put money down on the fact that we will see the Atom before the end of the movie. Even if it's just
there's gonna be a mention. There's gonna be a name drop of the wizard is going to tell Billy like I've done this before, blah 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 blah. So don't let me down. Also, I'm sure there'll be some mention of it happening before. But I don't think they've all pretty much said that no Dwayne Johnson in this. No, if there is, it'll be some after credits or just a scene that must be getting filmed and jumped up in there sometime soon. Because as of right now, he hasn't filmed anything for it. There is no, so my thing is this though. What was always proposed is first a Black Adam film, because chronologically it happens before all that. But with all the other DCEU things happening, they held off on that. The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, has been making other movies and whatnot. The thing is that if they do it right, and given they didn't take any of my thoughts of what Man of Steel could have been and turn it into a better universe with BVS and stuff. But with this, what they should do is they're going to introduce him either in his own prequel standalone historic movie of his original tale. So basically you get two parallel tellings. You get Shazam, and then the sequel in that is actually a prequel of Shazam the Wizard and his first interactions with this earlier guy who we're going to watch because it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If it wasn't him, that second movie being completely about somebody else might not work. But my understanding is that no, Black Adam has his own film that is going to take place, that is going to be his origin story as well, and then him and Shazam, or what I really heard from most sources I consider reliable, is that he is going to be a villain in some other movie before him and Shazam, I think Shazam is going to end up with Justice League soon after this movie or during this movie. By the end of it, Wonder Woman or somebody's going to go rein him in. Like, hey man, you can be walking around gas stations tearing shit up and all that. Like some superhero, because that's kind of how it happens in most tellings of that story. Is he starts getting some press, he starts getting some other, and Superman or somebody takes notice. Like, hey man, what are you doing over here? Who are you? You know what I mean? Like Batman, somebody takes notice of Shazam. They don't know he's a kid for a while. And like that would be the reveal that I say for whatever the next iteration of all these DC people coming together would be, is like, oh, they don't know Billy's a kid until that other movie. When they're fighting Black Adam, that's when something happens and it knocks the power out of Billy. And it's like, oh my God. And that would be a great dramatic moment for Wonder Woman or somebody to look over. And that guy we were just fighting with that always leaves at the end of the night and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, he just got struck by lightning, or that Black Adam guy just did something to him and he just turned into a child. Like, you know what I mean?
I think we're giving DC too much credit.
We're giving DC way too much credit. I did this with Man of Steel. I swore Batman vs. Superman was going to be Batman coming to hold him accountable in a more logical way of like, hey man, your brand of justice is tearing shit up. You know, I've been at this a while. One, I don't like you, and I don't know what you are, and I don't know what you're about. But I've studied you. I know you're Clark Kent. Why? Because I don't need a file. I'm Batman, and I know these things. I've found some other people out there, and you know, man, hey, we gonna ran it in. Aquaman would have came out of the ocean, kind of as the villain of my Batman vs. Superman movie, at least partially. Kind of like, hey, surface people, you just, or his brother, and they're like, the surface people, you just attacked us. We know you did because the ocean just got blasted in several places. You know, Man of Steel, the World Engines, like that's what Batman vs. Superman should have been. It should have been that story, partially thrown of Atlantis, and you know, it should have been all of that happening, with Lex Luthor being peppered in there as just a guy. He could have been the quirky ass Justin Eisberg here, but he like just a guy. I'm a genius. I'm kooky. I'm here. I'm there. I know things I shouldn't know. It doesn't have to be because I'm making Doomsday, but you know, I know things that I shouldn't know, just like that Batman, or just like Bruce Wayne does, but nobody knows why. But you know, they could have saved all that. Doomsday could have been a real threat. Several movies in, after everything we're seeing now, it could have been after all of that. Then if that scene from Batman vs. Superman would have been dropped 4 movies later, we wouldn't have been talking about that gargoyle. We wouldn't have been talking about, we would have been like, that gargoyle looks awesome. That's Doomsday.
Yeah.
Why? Because in this story that we're watching and everything that we've loved so far.
Yeah, there was absolutely zero build up to Doomsday.
Now that's not the original Doomsday. They'll never get to go. They'll never get to go there probably, but that's not the real Doomsday.
No, they've already burned that bridge.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, I'm sure Snyder, one of his people in the production, somebody has already said that like, no, there was always plans for that to be something that Lex Luthor made, some amalgamation, weird Zod body Doomsday. But the Doomsday Destroyer is really out there still on that meteorite.
Yeah, I've heard that's.
They said the other pod was Corazar. Okay, we're getting off track with the Shazam thing, guys. But we were just checking back in. I guess we could dovetail this into the next podcast. But they said Kara Zor-El was the other pod supposedly opened in the ship in Man of Steel. To me, that means she crashed. Well, no, I guess that would have been independent of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that means her shit would have had to go get sucked up into the Phantom Zone.
Yep.
And blooped out in the past.
Yep.
On Earth. Because that ship was ancient.
Future. She goes into the future.
Well, no.
Because when she comes
if that pod that they found in Man of Steel, I mean not pod, if that ship that he took and made the Fortress of Solitude, that ship from the very beginning, that when he met Lois and all that, he took that ship, flew off with it.
Right.
That pod on that, or that open pod in the background of that, supposedly according to Zack Snyder's fan fiction course corrections that he's giving everybody on the internet. But yeah, guys, that's basically our take on the Shazam trailer that we got today from Comic-Con. Be sure to check out iNerdForYou.com for more info. We got tons of stuff coming, tons of news still dropping from Comic-Con, so just stay tuned. And yeah, click subscribe, and we'll see you next time.